Hello, this is Dr. Amruta Landge. I'm a practicing pediatrician in Kolikar Hospital for past 1 decade. Today we are going to talk about how to introduce the solids in the babies who have completed 6 months of life. The process of introduction of solids is called weaning. That does not mean completely stopping the breast milk or a formula milk altogether. What to introduce? Fruits. They are the easy to digest and easy to prepare. So it's better that we start with the fruits. The fruits like banana, papaya, chikoo can be mashed and given to the babies. The little harder fruits like apples and pears can be finely grated and given to the babies. Please do not boil or poach the fruits and make it into the puree and give it to the babies. Basically, the concept of introduction of solids is to make the babies understand the way we eat the food item. So there is no need to boil or poach the fruits. The way we have it, we should introduce as it is. Cereals and pulses. Once the baby is comfortable with having 2 to 3 fruits, it's a time to introduce cereals and pulses. So to start with, we can start with the rice porridge and later on we can add moong dal. What are the ways we can prepare a cereal and pulses porridge? There are 3 ways we can prepare cereals and pulses porridge. The first and most common method is dry grinding them. We need to wash the grains completely, thoroughly in the water. So dry them under the sun or under the fan and then grind them in the mixer grinder. To begin with, it needs to be a fine powder. Gradually, the consistency of the powder needs to be coarser and coarser. This is your cereal powder. This can be used to prepare a porridge. Whenever you want to make a porridge, 2 to 3 teaspoons of this powder, adequate amount of water can be used to cook the porridge. In addition to that, we can add coconut oil or a clarified butter, that is ghee, to the porridge. Please do not add salt or sugar to the porridge. Once the baby is comfortable having a rice porridge, you can add on moong dal in the same porridge. You can prepare the moong dal in the similar fashion. The second common method of preparing the porridge is to soaking them. You can soak the grains overnight and grind them in the mixer grinder, and later on you can cook and give it to the baby. The third method is germination. The grains can be soaked and tied up in the muslin cloth and let them germinate. Once they germinate, you can use them for the porridge. Last 2 methods are called amylase-rich food methods. All the 3 methods can be used alternatively for the preparation of porridge. Vegetables. Once the baby is comfortable having 2 to 3 fruits, 2 to 3 cereals and pulses, it's a time to introduce the vegetables. The vegetable itself can be a meal or it can be finely chopped and let it cook with the porridge. The vegetables like sweet potato can be boiled and mashed and given to the babies. The vegetables like carrots and pumpkins can be boiled and made a puree and given as a thick soup to the babies. Spices and condiments. Once the baby is comfortable having 2-3 fruits, 2-3 vegetables, 2-3 porridges, you can experiment with the spices like elaichi and dalchini. When you add the pulses to the porridge, make sure that you are adding a little bit of hing so that there won't be any gas issues in the later. How to introduce solids? There are certain guidelines which you can follow to experiment with the baby foods. First and most important is no salt and sugar in the first year of life. It is found in the studies that introducing the salt and sugar earlier in the life may lead to the craving for the salty and sweet food stuff, which will lead to in the later life the metabolic problems such as high blood pressure and high sugar. It is better to avoid them at least in the first year of life. Instead of the sugar, you can add little bit of a jaggery in it. No honey in the first year of life, as it may lead to an infantile botulinism. The water can be added once the porridge is given to the baby, about 2 to 3 teaspoons, and in between the meals you can give sips of water to the baby. As the baby ages, we need to introduce the coarser and coarser food so that the baby is comfortable eating mashed porridge by 9 months of age and he should be able to eat from your plate by 1 year of age. No junk food or processed food whatsoever. We do not eat from the box. We prepare the meal and we have it. So why should we give the boxed food to the babies? So no junk or no processed food whatsoever to the babies. After a month of introduction of solids, we can add 2 to 3 varieties of vegetables in the porridge so that baby gets the proper nutrition. Variety is the spice of life. Introduce as many different types of food items as possible in the first year of life so that the baby does not become fussy eater later on in the life. Once prepared, the food should be utilized in next 3 to 4 hours. No leftover foods to the baby. We follow generally the rule of 3. Once the particular food item is introduced, it needs to be given in continuum for next 3 days. See whether the baby is able to digest it or not, and later on the 4th day, you can introduce the new item. No overfeeding whatsoever. There are certain signs that the baby suggests that they are full or do not want to eat. Please do not feed them when they don't want to eat because this leads to food aversion. I'm going to give you the diet chart for your reference. You may not have to strictly follow it. The link is as follows. Thank you very much.